everyone. Hopefully this is working okay. This is your coach Sarah here, and it's Sunday, and I just got done working out, and I was getting ready to make myself some lunch, and I thought I would take a little bit of time to show you how I utilize the 21-day fix containers, because I definitely know that sometimes it's a little confusing when you're reading through the program exactly like what do you do, how does this all work, so that I would give you a really clear example. So what I'm going to have for lunch today is a really big salad. I love salad. I really enjoy eating big salads, and I tend to eat one at least once a day. So I'm going to show you kind of how I put that together utilizing the containers. So we're going to be using our green container. My eating plan has me eating 4 of these a day, and typically I use 2 of these for my salads. And for the reason for that is that, like, especially like the lettuce portion of it is really light and fluffy. Like, you're not going to eat a salad of just lettuce. So I use 2 green containers for my salads. So I know you can't see me chopping, but I'll chop and then I'll show you the containers. So I just got some lettuce here. I got this at the farmer's market yesterday. This is lettuce that was grown in my town in September. This is huge, amazing, local, fresh, organic lettuce from the farmer's market. Awesome. Very excited about it. Okay, so I'm just going to pull some off here. And I'm also actually making salad for my husband today too. So I'm going to chop extra. Although he, kind of has a little bit more flexibility when it comes to his eating. So, I'm not going to measure his containers. I just like throw a bunch of stuff in there. Okay, so for myself, I'm just going to do a quick chop of some lettuce here. Just quick chop. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my green container to measure out how much lettuce I'm actually going to use. Now, the rule on the containers is that if you can fit it in and put the lid on, that's how much you can fit in it. Now, lettuce, as you all know, is super compactable. Like, I'm really going to pack my lettuce in here because I like lettuce. And I feel like I'm cheating a little bit when I'm like super packing it into these containers. But really, who cheats with lettuce? It's not really a thing. So anyway, should have washed all of the leaves. Note to self, and to you, wash your lettuce. Especially when it comes from the farmer's market. Okay, so you can see I've like really packed my lettuce in here, but I can still put the lid on. So that's 1 green container. So I'm just gonna dump that over here. See, look, it's so packed in there, I can't even get that into my bowl. Now, as you can see, when this comes out, like, that's a lot of lettuce. It's really full and fluffy. I'm losing it on the ground. Yes, I'm gonna eat lettuce off the floor. It's a lot of lettuce. This is not a starvation plan. Trust me, you're going to be eating lots of food. Okay, so I've got that over here. And then the next step is to add my mixed vegetables. So I pre-chopped all of my vegetables to save time because you don't want to watch me chopping for 20 minutes. Today I've got some carrots and some beets. I've got some little mini bell peppers, and then I have some Hawkeye turnips. Again, I got all of this at the farmer's market yesterday. It's amazing. Hawkeye turnips, they're kind of like radishes, but really big and white. They're delicious. And the cool thing about them is that you can use the bottoms, just like beets, you can use the beets. And you can use the greens. So when you're buying it, you're buying 2 different foods, essentially. You can cook the turnip and the beet greens just like you would cook kale. You can saute them up with some balsamic. It's really delicious. Okay, so anyway, I've got my mixed vegetables here. Told you what's in there. So I chopped up a bunch, enough for Kale and I am just going to measure into my container here. All right. So again, I'm packing it down. Container number 2 for vegetables. Should show you this. Adding it on top of my lettuce. Now, this is a really big salad. This is a lot of food. The thing about the vegetables, it fills you up because there's a lot of fiber in here. There's a lot of volume in here. But obviously there's not a ton of calories in raw vegetables. So that's part of why I really kind of like to pack it in there and get more. I may not even eat all of the salad because I'm going to have a few other things for lunch as well. So I may only eat even half of this and then have half of it, in a few hours when I want a snack or like the rest of the meal or whatever. I definitely tend to kind of like just eat till I'm full and have a few more snacks throughout the day. Not everybody's like that. Some people really just like eating a couple of big meals. I tend to be a little bit more of a snacker. Doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you. So we've got that. That's my salad. So that's my 2 green containers. All right, the next step is dressing. So dressings, according to Fix, go in your orange container. Now, all of the plans allot 1 orange container a day. This is actually quite a bit of salad dressing. You might not need this entire container for your salad. So one of the other things that goes in these containers are seeds. So I'm actually going to use this to put some hemp seeds on my salad as well. Let me grab those. Hemp seeds, if you haven't had them, this is the kind that was on sale at the grocery store when I went the other day. Awesome. They're like little tiny seeds. They're nutty, really good, high in protein. Just kind of like a fun little addition to your salad. You could also do sesame seeds or sunflower seeds, whatever you want. So I'm actually going to use my container scoop. And I'm going to aim for about half of my container because I'm going to use the other half for dressing. I'm just going to sprinkle this onto my salad. And actually that looks good. I still have some left in here. I just kind of put on what I like, and I'm just going to dump the rest back into the bag. All right, that's the seed portion. And then the next portion is the salad dressing. So I keep olive oil and vinegar mixed up together, just balsamic and extra virgin organic olive oil mixed together in a bottle that I like this size bottle because I put this in my purse and take it with me. I'm allergic to soy, and a lot of salad dressings in restaurants and pre-made salad dressings are made with soy oil. And so I've been in situations where I've been in a restaurant and I couldn't eat salad like the salad dressing because there was soy in it. So it's like, I'm eating raw, plain lettuce. It's terrible. So I actually just travel with my own salad dressing now. So anyway, so I'm just going to give it a little shake. And I am going to pour it into my orange container. Now remember, I used about half of this container for the hemp seeds. So again, I'm only going to fill it halfway. And then I'm going to take that and drizzle it over my salad for the dressing. And voila! 2 greens, 1 orange right here. All right? So, rest of my meal. I am a big fan of eating my largest meal in the middle of the day. I just kind of find that it works best for me. So, the next thing that I'm going to be eating for lunch is I'm going to, we roasted some acorn squash that we, again, got from our farm CSA the other day. Acorn squash are awesome. I'll show you what they look like before you cook them. They're these guys. They're awesome. Easy to cook. In the 21-day fix plan, I think squash tends to go in the green containers. But if you're following a little bit more of a paleo lifestyle, there aren't a whole lot of carbohydrate options, and dense sources of carbohydrates like butternut squash, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, sweet potatoes, those types of foods are kind of more in the carb category because they're super dense. So I'm actually going to use my yellow container to measure my squash. So what I do with this one is I'm going to just cut a chunk off here, grab a fork over here, and I'm going to scrape my squash into this container. So once you've roasted it, it comes off the outer skin layer, peels off really easy. You can see it just peels off. You can actually eat it, and I do most of the time. I'll put it on the top. So, as you can see, like this, like that doesn't really work. But since the idea is about filling it and the squash is really soft, I'm literally mashing the squash down into the container so I can actually fill the container, because there was a lot of empty space otherwise, right? Okay, so here we go. So I haven't even filled it all the way yet, so I'm going to get a little bit more squash, and hopefully there's some left for kale. A little bit more here. Awesome. Okay. So, got that. All right. And we've got a full yellow container, yellow squash in a yellow container. So this is my carb container. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like outside of the container. So one thing people are always like, oh, those containers are so tiny, and yeah, they kind of look small, but it's because you're packing things in there. And shape and size can really be deceiving. Let me get my fork because I packed it in there and it doesn't want to come out. All right, so got my squash back on my plate here, and I'll show you this again. That's how much squash is there. Can you guys see that? No, it's kind of a weird angle. I want to slide on the floor. That's a pretty big portion of squash. Like, it's a good size. Trust me, as soon as you take it out of the container and put it into a plate or a bowl or on a plate, you're going to see like, oh wow, that's actually kind of a lot of food. So anyways, that's that. Okay, so that's my yellow container. Last step is red container. So Kayla and I have gotten in the habit of cooking up large batches of ground beef and adding our own kind of sausage seasonings that we made up ourselves, because it's really inexpensive way to get a lot of food. And then we have lots of ready-to-go protein just hanging out in the house. So we do this every couple of days. We just cook up a huge batch of ground beef and add a bunch of yummy seasonings. So I am going to use this leftover ground beef to fill up my red container. And then I'm going to put it onto that plate with the squash and pop them in the microwave. Do not microwave in these containers. I don't know if they say that they're microwave safe, but you never, ever, ever, ever microwave in anything plastic. Even if it says microwave safe, do not microwave in plastic. Weird chemicals will be leaching into your food that are not healthy for you. So just don't do it. Eat your food cold if you're in plastic and it's your only option. Just never do it. Glass or ceramic only in the microwave and heating the food. That's my little soapbox for a minute there. Okay, so that's what I'm having for lunch. Now, next step, write it down. Let me see. Well, I was gonna show you the app that I got on my phone, but I didn't bring my phone in the kitchen, and I don't want to leave you hanging. So, the trackers that I gave you, if you want to write down exactly what foods you ate, print off those trackers and write it down for today. So, under my little green container, I'm going to write down salad, lettuce, mixed vegetables. So that's 2 green containers. And then I'm going to write down squash underneath the yellow container column. Then I'm going to write down ground beef on the red container column. I'm going to write down salad dressing and hemp seeds under the yellow container column. If you're just going to be using the 21-Day Fix tracker app, where you don't actually write down your foods, but you just keep track of the containers that you're eating, go ahead before you even sit down and eat and put those down for your lunch, right? So mark those containers off on the app. And even if you don't finish them for that meal, if you, like me, go back later and finish them for a snack, I'm not going to go back in and adjust my containers because it's just annoying. It's a pain in the butt. I already just know that that's part of the lunch meal, and those containers are accounted for. All right? So that is how you actually use the containers to measure your food and keep track of how many containers you're eating in a day. It's really not difficult. I mean, everybody is going to be chopping vegetables anyway. The only additional step is just putting the vegetables in here first before you put it in your container that you're going to eat it out of. All right? Okay, everyone, that's it. Thanks for watching.